Good day, everybody. How is everybody doing? We're a little bit further afield today. Let's go a bit closer. Ah, there we go. All right, everyone. Good afternoon. It's been a while since we talked last, isn't it, Louise?
It is, yes.
Oh no, hang on. Oh, see, I'm all over the place. There you are. You all right, Della?
My camera. I need
You're
to.
too high. All right. So
No, I'll just do this. It's fine. Look, I'm okay.
No, you're a bit low.
Making myself. There we are. That's fine.
No, go up now. Go up properly now. Don't be silly.
Yeah. Can everybody hear me? Sorry, that's your line.
There we go. We're all good. I think we're good. Just give us a thumbs up if you can see us and hear us. It would be good if you could. That's the whole idea of what we're doing.
That was a big sigh.
It was a bit, wasn't it? Are we live on here? I can't see any.
It looks like
any
yes.
chat.
Hi, both loud and clear. Thank you, Amco.
Good.
Fab.
Excellent.
Good.
Good. It's been a while, isn't it, since we have done a Q&A.
Feels like
it's
ages.
The last broadcast sort of on YouTube was Kerry Gregory's Q&A.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Because there's been bank holidays. There's been another bank holiday. There was the coronation.
Never had so many bank holiday Mondays, have we?
This has been on for a month. This is the first time we've been on for a month.
Wow.
And I really can't believe that. Good, excellent. So lots of things have happened. We're not going to bore you with all the things that have happened. One of the main things, we went down to Exeter.
We did.
To the Gem and Bead show. That was good. We met some lovely people down there. We had a nice hotel afterwards, didn't we?
Did, haunted.
A haunted hotel.
Like a home from home, wasn't it?
It was a bit. We only found out in the when we left, the next morning, that it was actually haunted.
I had a feeling when I walked in there, and you didn't help because there was a boy running around, a little boy going woo like that. And I said, that is going to get annoying. And you said, what's going to get annoying? And I said, that child. And Andrew said, what child? And for a second, I was like, oh my God. But yeah, you were just
I could have carried on all night, couldn't I, really, with that?
Yeah, that wouldn't have been advisable. I'd have been back in the car.
So that was good. That was good. And yeah, we've had the coronation. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what else to say because that's about it, really. Doesn't matter. I'm going to get my water.
Yes. The other news is we are going to be doing show and tell, aren't we? But it's going to be slightly different.
Yeah.
I've had this idea. Basically, show and tell is brilliant, isn't it?
It's getting so popular.
Yes, it's getting really, really popular. And we've got a little bit of a backlog because we haven't been here for a few weeks, have we? With one thing and another. So we thought what we'd do is a kind of like online exhibition. We're not quite sure when. We could probably do with a few more exhibitors, couldn't we?
Yes.
And we thought it would be a lovely thing to do periodically, just to basically have a whole hour dedicated to you guys.
Yes.
And your work. So you could, we're going to work on some way for you to get the information to us.
Sort of like a name.
Yes,
bio.
we're working on some kind of form, aren't we?
Yes.
So that's going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks in preparation for our first ever At the Bench online exhibition. So
and it's, yes, sorry.
Go on.
No, go on. And it's not going to be replacing anything. It's going to be an addition to.
As well as, yes. So I'm really excited about that because it'll really give everybody a chance to.
Showcase their
brilliant!
work.
Thank you, Claire. Yeah, to show your work really, and it'll be shareable, I suppose, on YouTube, won't it? It's so. Yeah.
Then you can link then to the YouTube if you wanted the people to see it.
Yes.
And it's great because at the moment the show and tells are sort of contained within the Q&A, and it's a nice little feature, but it's not a separate section and you can say, well, 20 minutes in there's going to be a show and tell. It never is.
So we can make you the stars for a whole show.
Exactly. Yep. So we can post in your pictures and we will mention you if you've got your Facebooks, your Instagrams, whether you do TikTok, whatever, you can put all that there and we will broadcast it to the world.
Sounds good, yeah.
That's
So it'll
really
be a
good
little
idea.
bit more of a formal, not, we don't have to dress up and wear, a dicky bow and ball gown, but it'll just be us behaving ourselves really and being a bit more serious about everybody's work. And because then you can show it to your potential clients and whoever really.
It's a very good idea.
Yes.
So that's what's in the back of our heads at the moment.
That's very much in the front of my head at the moment, but yes, good.
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 And that's what we're going to be doing. Good. Just have a quick scan along here.
There was something else. Next week, workshop.
Workshop next week.
Yes, that's the other news.
Yes, the emails are going out. I know there's been about 10,000 gone out so far, which is nice. So yeah, you'll be getting your emails over the next few hours. Give it time. There's only so many going out every hour. And the workshop is going to be all about chain making. And we're going to be making up some chains. We're going to make up some different styles of chains, variations of links. We're going to be doing a curb chain, which I think is pretty awkward to do it live, but it's going to work. I don't know, but we'll have to see. And then we're going to do like a little bit of a Celtic sort of twist interlocking one as well that I haven't made up for a long while, but we used to make up quite a bit. I'm not going to do that one.
Oh. Did you know that was coming?
I'm not doing that one, Louise.
Here's one I
That's
made
not
earlier.
going to be a bonus film either.
Okay.
Nope.
Oh, I won't show it then.
So not going to do that one.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's going to be all about chain making. We're going to be using some advanced piece of equipment, and we're going to be using some really basic piece of equipment. We're going to be making our own jigs and just going to go through the whole process of chain making, which is going to be good. It's going to be another 3-hour workshop next Monday starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Non-at-the-bench members is going to be £15. Your emails are going to be coming out to you if you are a paid member of At The Bench. You'll be having a coupon code within the email, but there's also a direct link that takes you to the checkout where your coupon code has already been applied. So At The Bench members get that for free. And if you're not an At The Bench member, these workshops are £15, but they are included with your membership of £180 a year. That's about it.
There was something else I had to mention, but I've forgotten what it is, so I'll remember it and I'll write it down.
There's a mini burnisher there.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
When you remember it, give us a shout and we'll let everyone know what it was all about.
Okay, if
that
I
about
remember it, yeah.
So, Q&A. I was not a little bit on the nervous side actually coming on today. We haven't done one of these for a month. We haven't been in front of the camera like this for a month, have we? And all the equipment had to be reset back up. And I'm pleased to say it's all working. Thank
I know what we were going to
goodness
say.
for that. Yes.
Have we announced that we're sponsors for the Nudge Awards?
No, we haven't.
Yeah, that's the other news.
Yes.
So excited about it because we are sponsoring the Rising Star Award.
With the National Association of Jewellers.
For the National Association of Jewellers, yeah, which if you're abroad or in another country you might not know, that's basically our governing body, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah. And they if you're not a member of the Nudge and you're in the UK, we would urge you to become a member because the member benefits are fabulous. And they're just so supportive, aren't they? And it's just about promoting excellence and professionalism in the industry, isn't it? So yeah, we're members and now we're sponsoring one of the awards.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm so excited about that.
Presenting the awards for one of the Rising Stars. And it's going to be a nice black tie event as well.
Yes, well, don't forget you're going to be learning as well, Andrew, because it's the 2 days of conference that I'm dragging you to.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not all going to be fun. Well, it's going to be fun, but it's not going to be party fun. It's going to be learning fun.
It's the Valuers Conference that we're going on 2 days as well.
Yes, and there's some fabulous lectures and workshops, so I'm really looking forward to that too.
And when's that? Middle of June.
19th of
June.
Me just, you're better at remembering dates than I am. It's the 24th.
17th. Oh, 24th.
24th
of June.
The 25th, and on the Monday I think is the retail Jewelers Conference, isn't
Yes,
it? But we're going to the Valuers
we are.
Conference, yeah.
We're coming home on a Monday, so that'd be great, but we'll be here for Q&A.
How exciting
That's going
is
to be
that?
looking really good, so we're really pleased about that.
Yes, so we'll have lots to tell you when we come back from that as well.
And lots of nice photographs as well.
Yes, good.
Did you want to mention these?
Oh gosh, that was the other thing, yes. You probably all think I've forgotten, but when we did the stone setting workshop, I said we were going to have a little bit of a giveaway. And it's been on my mind ever since, and I keep writing it in my diary week after week after week. And then I had COVID, and then we weren't here, and then we had a million bank holidays, but now we're back.
And then we had problems with the castings.
Then we had problems with the castings because they were delayed. But now, when we did the stone setting workshop, I did say that we were going to give away some of our practice settings and stones. So we're finally in a position to be able to do that. So we're going to draw that tomorrow out of the people who were with us live on the stone setting workshop.
Yes.
So if you were live with us on the stone setting workshop, do look out for an email because it might be you.
Exactly.
Yes.
And what they are going to be these. We're going to be giving away just one little square bezel because we use that to do the square radiant cut, princess cut, by cutting down the sides but leaving the corners. And we're also going to be giving away 2 of the practice stones as well, and also a 4 claw as well. Now the advantage with these practice settings, even though they are practice settings, they are rings that you can actually then sell, so you can get your money back. I think these are in the region of about £20 each. We supplied 2 stones, 2 square stones, 2 round stones, in case you make a bit of an error and crack one of the stones. But if you polish these up beforehand, set them, and you're pleased with it, sell them. You could sell
Or wear them.
Or wear them, or sell them for like £60 minimum.
You can tell I just wear all the jewellery.
and just make some money. Why not? So they are practice. There are lots of people selling practice, but they're brass and you can't sell them. You can't do anything with them once you set them. But why? Why not practice on items that you can then resell?
Yes. So you've seen the stone setting workshop.
Yes.
So yeah, now you can
have the settings.
Have the
giving
settings
giving away a set of each to 2 lucky people that we will draw tomorrow.
So look out into your emails. And also, if you're an At the Bench member, don't forget every month we're still doing our monthly draws. And sometimes people don't respond to the email, do they?
No. That'll be then carried over.
So it gets carried over. So yeah, check your spam, check your junk mail, check. Yeah.
We've had 4 items to give away last month. Only 3 have come forward.
Yeah. If you're in any doubt, you can always email me, louise@andrewberry.co.uk, or you can give us a ring. Yeah.
But yes, we have notified everybody, so 3 have come back, 1 we're still waiting for. If he doesn't come back by the end of the month, it'll be rolled over to next month, or this month, so to speak. So this month we do have a forward and flex shaft.
How many emails have you sent to the winner?
1.
Send another one then.
Come on.
Come on.
1.
Send another one.
We'll send another one.
You know how easy it is for emails to get swallowed up.
If your name's Peter, look out in your emails.
Come on, Peter. Check your emails,
if you do not reply by the end of the month, we are going to put it into the following month.
Send another email.
I'll send another one.
Fair's fair. Come on.
That's fair. So for this month, we're giving away a Fordham flex shaft with these sort of like accessories. What's that? £250, £300 worth. And if that one doesn't get claimed either, it'll roll over to the next month again. So following month we'll have some more. You know what, get the gist of the idea. Should we start, Louise?
Yes, okay.
Good. It is the 15th of May. Time for our question and answer. It is 4 p.m.-ish. Should we have a first question, Louise?
Yes, okay. Okay, Louise is saying, I have carved a wax ring commission and want to cast it in silver, scrap offcuts and grain. How do I work out how much silver I will use, excluding the sprue for the quote?
All right then, so if you've got a set of scales that will go to, say, the 10th of a gram, use those. So the idea would be, you have your scales. Oh, this camera, what's happened to this camera, Louise? I'm a bit on the close side. Let me just, bear with me a second. That's a bit frightening, isn't it? And the colour's off still. Can you remind me to sort the colour out on this close-up camera, please do?
Yes.
Oh.
Sort the what out, sorry?
Sort out the colour on the colour. Close-up camera, yeah. So put it on the scales. weigh the wax, and say the wax weighs 1.4. Every metal, every item, everything has a specific gravity. So with wax, we say the specific gravity is 1. And if you look on some specific gravity tables, you should find what 9 carat should be. You should find out what silver should be. Now, obviously, a cubed, say a centimetre cube of wax, weighs differently from a cube centimetre of 9 carat and silver and so forth. So the idea is you treat wax as 1. If with silver, I think it's off the top of my head, is it 11 grams, for instance? Not 11 grams. Sort yourself out, Andrew. It's 11. So if you've got 1.4 grams of wax, you want to make that into silver, you times that by 11, so that's 1.4 times 11. Have I done this the right way? 1's 1, 4, 4, 4, 4 ones are 4, da, 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 da. To add that together. Oh, Andrew, what are you doing? Is it 15.4? Yes, I think it's 15.4. I'm moving these out the way. So that was what you would need for silver to fill that particular model of 1.4 grams in wax. But as you know, you've got to allow for the sprue, you've got to allow for the nice big button that goes upon the top. So I would add at least 10 grams on top of that. So you don't have to be very, very accurate because you're going to be adding that extra on top. So I would put on roughly around about 25 grams if that is the case. The other way that you can do it is that you get a very thin test tube. And here is your test tube. It looks like that. And what you do, you fill it with water. Ooh, like that. All right, you fill it with water. You put the wax in the test tube. Your test tube has to be big enough to put the wax in. The ring's down here. The line goes up to there. Okay, you put a mark on the test tube. You take out the ring. The water returns back down to this level. Then you put in your scrap silver in here, blob, 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 use your scrap silver, blah, blah, until the level goes back up to where it was when the ring was in place. What is this principle called, Louise? Can you remember?
Specific gravity, is it? Or displacement?
Yes. And who did water displacement?
Archimedes?
Yes, top of the class.
Darling.
Gold star, well done, Louise.
So, he did deserve one, yes.
So, you know, when
He took the bath, didn't he? And ran through the streets naked.
I don't know what he did.
Well, one can only assume. He was that excited.
So yeah, he sat in the bath, the water went up, water displacement went everywhere. So that's another way that you can do it. But again, you have to add on because obviously you need your sprue. Here's the ring down here. You need it in the sprue. You need the silver on top to push down because don't forget, as the silver cools, it contracts. It needs this extra being pushed down into it. So that's exactly what you need.
Good.
Yes, Louise. Let's have another question.
Good, good. Victoria did a craft fair yesterday, sold half of what I sold last year. I think the cost of living has hit the UK hard. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
It is. It's getting harder and harder, I think.
We're noticing we're selling more...
cheaper
more
items?
Yeah, I was going to say more affordable
Inexpensive?
items. We're selling more of the... Because we sell a lot of Nomination, don't we, which is an Italian brand. And I know it's not the same as making, obviously, but it's we're selling a lot of that. So people buy little and often, and not so much of the higher value things. So maybe that's...
a way that you can play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, produce some lower price.
Yeah, just maybe make some lower cost, but that is a challenge in itself, isn't it? Perhaps we can have a think about that, about
stack a ring, something that people can
because
wear.
well, they can collect them then,
That's
can't
right,
they? You
that's
could
what
say
I
they're
was saying.
collectible, and
Yeah.
so that would be a really good. You could just make them light and make them
make them mass producible in one respect.
Yeah.
So you can make a coil of wire that would have like 5 or 6 wraps around it, and you cut it, you solder them all in one go, and then you then produce something that goes on the top. You can solder, and so on a little not conveyor belt, but your little production line, rather than doing just one item at a time.
So
try
they're
and do a few.
cost effective to produce,
Yes.
and you can mark them up, and they'll still be
Reasonable.
Perhaps we'll have to think about this then for
What we
something
can
for
do.
the future. Yeah, for some
back
ideas.
To back to basics, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one thing I've noticed. But yeah, I definitely agree, Victoria. It's getting harder and harder. But then that's one thing that I've observed from here. And I know making is not the same as buying something and selling it, but the principle, we might be able to, I don't know,
do something.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Excellent.
Great. Sorry, I've missed the. Where are we going?
Right at the top then. Up.
Did I miss one?
Oh, no, there we go.
No, there we are. No,
yes.
I know.
Oh, sorry.
Question. Who's got a question? Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Can 750 yellow gold embellishments be soldered onto 925 silver? Which solder? 750 easy solder for yellow gold. Hey, that'd be quite good, wouldn't it? For kind of like jazzing up a very simple band or stacker ring. You could. Yeah. Sorry, I've just jumped on your question, Rebecca.
Yeah,
but
embellishments. That's actually one of the
embellishments is something we're going to be going into. Yeah, isn't it? We've got a workshop coming up on that. So
decoration
we can incorporate a little bit of that. Yeah, because you can literally punch things out, embellishments, can't you?
Yeah.
And that would be anyway. Go on, sorry.
Or using shot.
You got me thinking now, Rebecca.
Or using shot plates.
I don't know what they are, but yes. So answer Rebecca's question.
Shot plates, as in shot plates, the little shot plates like that, and you melt down your bit of silver. You put it in your shot plate, and you bang on top, and with a hammer, and it spreads into the. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
Okay. So the question was.
Can 750 yellow gold embellishments be soldered onto 925 silver? Which solder? 750 easy solder for yellow gold. Any tips?
Okay. Yeah. It depends upon your embellishment, and depends on how you really want to solder it. Would it be more cost effective to use 9 carat as opposed to 18 carat? If you are using 18 carat, really I would use 18 carat solder if it was going to be a gold solder, although you could use silver solder and it wouldn't matter too much. You don't want to use, say, 9 carat, because then you've got your mixed 9 and 18. It's not going to be hallmarked, your mixed metals of 18 carat. So, it depends on what type of embellishment you want. And I know we've touched on this quite a few times before. What I would always try and do is sweat solder these embellishments, okay? So by doing that, you're going to limit the amount of spread of solder. So for argument's sake, you've got a piece of, say square metal, okay? And you want to solder on top of that a ball, okay? Now, what I would always try and do in that case is on this here, pretend I'm cutting through here, I would always try and do a little divot like that, so the ball could rest in, which is going to make positioning the ball, whatever it is, quite easy. This is the awkward thing. I think in that case, I would put some silver solder in that divot, making sure that silver solder doesn't go anywhere, so you can just clean up the depression on its own. Little bit of silver solder in there, warm up the place for the silver solder to melt. Put the ball on top. Obviously, you've got your divot. Your solder is going to take up quite a bit of that. Your ball then should just sit on the top like that. Heat it all up, remembering the masses, the sizes, that's smaller than this. Heat up this first, and then as soon as that solder melts, the ball will drop, fill that hole, and the solder will not flow anywhere. Okay, so that is something that I would do. If I knew what you were trying to solder on, it would make life a lot easier for me, but that's the sort of thing that I would do. What you don't want to do is perhaps put your ball on the top of your metal, and then put a pallion of solder by the side, hoping that solder is going to go underneath, because you're not going to get a good finish, because don't forget, wherever the solder is, even if you try and roll it up as a little ball right underneath here, there's no guarantee that solder is going to run exactly where it should run between the two pieces here. When it melts, it may run on the base here, which means you've got a lot of cleaning up to do. It may run directly up onto the ball, which if that was silver, you've got a nice silver color on your 18 karat here that you're gonna have to try and get off. So always try and limit the amount of error within the soldering, but sweat soldering I think is going to be the ideal way to do it. Even if you had the curvature of a ring shank and you had the ball on top, I would again do a little divot for that ball to sit on. It's all about limiting the amount of solder you put on, and because you've got these two surfaces, don't forget, solder is like a hug. It stays between, okay, stays between the two people that are hugging. The solder will not move along here because the solder likes to stay between two surfaces due to capillary action. So yeah, that's my answer.
Good. Okay.
I'm just trying to think, did I answer it? Yes, I did, yes. Yes, Louise, next question, please.
Okay, Louisa is saying, lovely to see you back, thank you. Have you considered doing any more enameling videos? I don't know if it's your thing.
I've done really basic enameling, but I'm not an expert on enameling. I can do the basics, I can put the colour in on it, I can put like a bit of sgraffito, but I haven't done anything like, come on Louise, name some enameling techniques. Within the cells, you know, yeah, those ones, yeah. I can't remember what they're called, my brain's gone, I haven't done this for a while now. But no, that's the one.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Thank you. See, I knew you knew. And we've done like sgraffito and that sort of thing, but I wouldn't necessarily say I was an expert and confident enough in myself to teach it.
If we find an expert, then we will get them over here.
I know somebody, whether she would, I do not know.
Well, you can ask.
I can ask,
you
certainly.
Can ask.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Louise.
Great. Yeah, sorry about that, Louisa, but if we can persuade an expert to come and do some work with us, then yeah, brilliant. Claire, thank you, Claire. Helena's saying, is it safe to put an ordinary glass in an ultrasonic machine? What sort of metal to contain items is safe in there, please?
Yes, you can put ordinary glass in an ultrasonic. What you can use, and what I have always used, is a plastic tea strainer. And I find that that is ideal because it'll sort of float within the ultrasonic unless what you put in the little tea strainer is heavy, and it will then sink to the bottom. I never use the baskets that come with ultrasonics because it's metal. I know you mustn't put anything loose in the ultrasonic, otherwise it'll wear away the bottom of the ultrasonic over time. But even if you use the metal basket that comes in an ultrasonic, you put something in that metal basket, they're rubbing like this because the ultrasonic uses the imploding of bubbles. It will vibrate and it will mark. So I always throw the metal baskets away. We then use this. If I can just grab it, we use this, which is a little square rod and these little hangers that hang down, and that will go across the ultrasonic, and these hang in the water, so you can hang the rings from it, or if you've got a chain, you can wrap the chain around it and so forth. And also we keep this in the ultrasonic, and then our tea strainer has a little hole on the end of it. You put the tea strainer in or over the back end of it, over one of these, and it stays up, it stays upright. So
just
yes,
don't let it scratch on the bottom.
Yeah, you know, people sometimes use the metal clam type ones from IKEA, but again, it's metal, and if there's, for instance, I know you've got glass, but if you've got metal inside a metal, it's going to vibrate and it's going to mark. So I would always use plastic wherever possible. Definitely, yes.
Okay.
Yes, Lou.
Good. Kenneth is saying, could you please possibly give me some guidance on selecting the diameter of the beading tool to bead up the beads? There's more. Thank you very much for a wonderful workshop on Grievous. You're welcome. Is it a good idea to anneal the metal before trying to raise the beads?
Okay, I don't think it would matter too much because it is a tiny little grain. There is no real formula for this, so it's basically you have to look at it and assess the size of the grain that's come up. assess the size of the beading tool. The problem is with beading tools are unnumbered when you have them brand new. But obviously as then you will sharpen them and you use them, the ends will become different sizes. So a number 1 in a week's time or a month's time, once you've sharpened it, may be a number 4, or number 8, maybe number 6, or whatever it's going to be. So for me, the sizes of my beading tools are written on them, but I don't relate those numbers to the size of the beads. Sounds silly, I know. So I usually try and arrange in my beading tools that we got here, I usually try and arrange them in size. So I go from large all the way down to small. And that really is as simple as that. So how do you choose the right size? So your beading tool would be that sort of shape, wouldn't it? And this area here has to be the right size to produce a nice grain. If you have a piece of a metal that has been brought up sort of that sort of size, nasty shadow on the outside, this beading tool is going to be too small, because as soon as the beading tool goes over this edge here to push down, the beading tool is going to do that, and you're going to be left with a bit of a bead, but then a bit of a lump like that, because you've squashed this down here and you've got this little lump sticking up here. So when you look down on top, you may have a bead, but you may have a bit of a squashed section behind it, and that's your bead there. So that sort of tool for that sort of size grain would be too small. Likewise, if you went for a beading tool that was like this, okay, and you put that on top, so the beading tool now is going to go right over that like that, and really that is going to be too big, because the edges of the beading tool are going to start now to cut into the metal on either side. So what you may get is a bit of a, again, a little bit of a cross section, so you get a bit of a mark, you get a very pathetic little divot, and it looks like that. So again, when you look down on top, your beading tool will be like that, but then you've also got a mark going around your grain, because the edge of the beading tool has hit the metal. So you have to experiment, and this is why we went over the practice plate, pushing forward, and raising those little grains. If you produce and put 2 lines and you push forward, these grains should be all the same size. Then you can come along with your beading tool and go, let's have a look at that one. Let's try that one. Okay, it's produced a bit of a weird squashed, like a fried egg look. That's going to be too small. Try again, not too sure. So it depends upon you, depends upon the size of this grain coming up. You may find that when you put the graver in, the grain may be really thin. It may be something like that. Well, obviously you can't really use a big beading tool or a very small one. You have to experiment with it. So I'm afraid it's not easy to say you have to experiment with the different sizes.
There's no formula as such?
I don't think there's a formula, no, because there has to be enough metal that you've raised just to fill in that depression of the beading tool.
So you have to keep practicing until you've kind of like...
Yeah, your eye can see that size and go, oh, right, okay.
That will work for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
it takes a bit of time then.
Or what you could do is push your beading tool down, see how close you are coming to the edge here, and go, it's a bit too big, and you try a slightly smaller one and go to a smaller one. You're better off having a slightly too big and just going down a little bit and then swapping over to a small one, rather than having a small one and making a mark upon the grain that you've raised. If you have a small one like this and you push down, you may be pushing this right down here, but now you've left this little bit of a mark like that is really going to be awkward to get rid of.
So just got to get that sweet spot.
It's a sweet spot.
Okay.
Yes. Good question though, but I'm afraid I don't have a definitive answer for it. No.
Did you answer the annealing part?
Do you need to anneal it? I did at the very beginning.
Okay, sorry.
You don't necessarily need to anneal it, because the grain is only tiny, and there's not going to be an awful lot of difference in that little grain whether it's annealed or not. Yeah. Yes, please.
Okay, David, I'm so sorry I missed your question, so I've gone back to it. When making beeswax and charcoal to make a gem pickup tool, is it the hard beeswax that is used? I have tried the wax from Baby Bells, but it's soft and leaves bits of wax on the stone.
Yeah, I think that the Baby Bell cheese is just that little bit.
Just delicious.
It's the cheese is delicious, I must admit, but the wax is just that little bit too soft. You know, wherever you are in the world, if you're in a warm climate, it's going to be too. Whether you actually have Baby Bells in the warm climate, I don't know. But yeah, it's going to be too soft. You got some Baby Bells on the way home. Oh, you got shopping already, haven't you? So
Fancy Baby Bell now.
I would use the hard beeswax, basically. Yeah, this is beeswax. This is from, I'm not quite sure, from Grobe, and it comes in a little tube like this, and it's 1 ounce synthetic beeswax. Actually, so this actually isn't real beeswax, it's synthetic beeswax, a highly refined petroleum product used as a lubricant for saw blades, burrs, gravers, and in wire drawing. Also used for picking up small gemstones. So, yeah, I wouldn't use a Baby Bell. I would use some beeswax, or some, in this case, some synthetic beeswax. And it is quite hard, this, so you're going to have to warm it up. Oh, in fact, it's not too bad. And mix it up with your charcoal. So the answer, don't worry about Baby Bells. In an emergency, if you've got one on your bench and you can't find your stone picker upper, well then munch your Baby Bell and use the cheese to pick up your stone.
Don't eat the Baby Bell at the bench though, because you're not allowed.
Not allowed, exactly. I don't know what the question was, but I hope that answered it.
Okay, good. Dominic, hi. I'm experiencing serious power cuts this side of the world and wanted to find out if I can do the wax burnout process on different but consecutive days. I get just about 4 hours of power.
You can do, but the problem that I think you're going to get is that you need a continuation of power to raise it up the temperature. I know our burnout kiln will take around about 4 hours to get up to the temperature that it needs to get up to. But the problem that you got is it has to sustain that temperature for 2 or 3 hours. So you have to have, in theory, with that, at least 7 hours of continued supply of electric. If it goes on for 3 hours and then it stops, your flask will cool down. You're going to have to reheat it back up to where it was and then continue the burnout process. That means heating up for 3 hours, because it's going to take a long time for your flask to warm up, and then you're going to have to keep it there and so forth. So I think you may run into problems because it's the continuation of heat, of electric, that you're going to need rather than stopping and starting it. Yes, Lou.
Okay, Janet, hiya Janet. We EU peeps can order Cookson via France now. Ooh, much easier, speedier postage.
Yes.
But I did get caught up in France postage strikes. But why is there sterling at 9.50, not 9.25? Is it the same?
It's Britannia. So perhaps in their country, they don't have sterling silver. So they most probably will have Britannia silver. So again, 950 parts silver out of 1,000, 50 parts other metal. So sometimes if there is no required sort of assay mark for 925, that's why they won't sell it. It's only going to be 950. Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely.
Claire says, I really struggled with craft fairs. I do so much better through Insta and my website.
Excellent.
That's cool. Yeah,
Excellent.
fabulous.
How about Etsy?
Yeah.
Does many people have luck with Etsy?
Yeah, let us know, guys, what you think about Etsy.
Because you had a lot of vintage and pre-owned that you were considering putting on Etsy.
A lot of it sells through the shop. Some of
Yes.
it sells through the website, and I think some of it would. I don't know why, but I think some of it would do better on Etsy. Mm-hmm. I just find it really time-consuming.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just quicker.
Perhaps it's the same sort of principle. You put the picture, you put your description, but perhaps you can copy and paste from the website or. From
well, that's what I was hoping to do, but it just seemed a bit labour-intensive. Maybe it's because I'm not used to putting things on Etsy, and once I know what I'm doing, I'll be a bit quicker. I suppose that's the truth with anything, wouldn't it? But do you guys think it's worth it?
Is Etsy good? Don't know.
Yeah. let me know, because I would really love to know what you think.
Yeah.
Great. Jonathan is saying, is it possible to identify the metal composition of a jewellery without damaging the jewellery? I heard every jeweller uses a different metal mixture.
It's possible to identify the metal composition. So are you after exactly what is in the metal, as in how much gold, how much silver, how much copper and how much zinc? If you do, there's no way that you can do that successfully unless you have a machine, Louise, isn't it? What's it called?
XRF?
XRF machine. And that will give you the composition of the metal, and that's, I think that's based with X-ray. But if you simply want to know how much gold is in it, you can use your Troy acid kits, which would mean just getting a very, very slight little bit of emery paper on an area that you can perhaps repolish, and then add in the acids, noting the colour of the acid drop and also the stain. Yeah.
Can I just add something about the acids? Obviously they're extremely dangerous and should be used with care, but I think from my experience, unless you expect the reaction to be quite obvious, and I don't think it is. So I think when you're learning to use the kits, you're better off testing known materials.
Metals.
So you've got 925 or 375, 750, and you test and observe the effects.
Yes.
So you're training yourself a little bit to know what's going to happen. Otherwise, you don't know what that reaction is going to look like.
As you say, they can be very subtle.
Yes.
As well.
And unless you've seen it on a known substance, you might not. You might think the kit's rubbish and doesn't work, because that's what I thought, and I still haven't actually taken the time to sit down. But you can do it because you've done it for many years. But I was just like, well, I can't see any difference, but it takes a little bit of time, and you do need some knowns.
Yes, you do. Or you could use an electronic tester as well, which works on the same sort of principle, using the electric, that will tell you how much gold is in it. So yes, so if you want to know exactly what the metal composition of it all, one of those machines that Louise just said,
XRF.
XRF.
Which XRF?
Which is 30-odd thousand.
Did you just say XRF? Right? Is that? Yeah, XRF. They're crazy expensive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or just simply use your acids to find out what the gold content is. Yes.
With care.
With care. Yes, do. Next question, please.
Okay. Great. Alan, did you take any footage of the gem show in Exeter? No, we didn't, did we?
No.
I'm afraid.
No.
Sorry. Tanya's nearly finished the Maltese cross. Ooh, cool.
Oh, nice.
I look forward to seeing that. Good. Oh, Donald, sorry, I missed your question. Where can you get reasonably priced shot plates?
Good question. Look this up, please, can you, Louise? Gemia, or is it
with a G? Okay.
Geminia.
Laboratory biotechnology?
No.
Okay.
Put shot plates.
Oh yeah, of course.
Put shot plates and see what comes up. Gemina. God, I am good. Go to Gemina. I've never dealt with them, but they've got some crazy, amazing shot plates, and everyone is made by them. Gemina.
I'll just link it in for you.
Sure, Gemina. They're not cheap, but they are good. So those are the people who we would recommend, and if you should contact them, if you should buy, please mention that Andrew Berry or At The Bench recommended them to you. We don't get anything from them. I've never bought anything from them, but I've noticed them, and they are very, very good. Very good indeed. Yes, Lou.
Okay. Good. Sandra is asking, on a hinge with two bald ends, what's the best way to heat sink / hold the piece when melting the final ball so I don't melt anything else? My success has been inconsistent because I'm winging it.
Say that again for me.
On a hinge with two bald ends, what's the best way to heat sink / hold the piece when melting the final ball so I don't melt anything else?
All right. I think it depends on whether you're going to be sending your item off to assay, because you could use some extra easy silver solder. The problem with extra easy silver solder, it really isn't quite hallmarking quality because there's so little silver in it and more other metals. You won't get a true colour, so it's not going to be suitable for joining, say, rings together. But if you are simply trying to put a ball on the end of a piece of tubing, something like that, you should be fine with it. And as I said, providing you're not sending off to assay, you should be fine with it. If you are sending items off to the assay, they will not allow you to use extra easy. So you're going to have to try and do it so careful. If this was attached onto something, say a locket down here, and you were trying to solder that onto this side, try and put the flame running this on the outside edge, so it's not going to be heating up this part, and then bring the ball down into place, or perhaps even sweat solder some silver solder on here, rest it on the top of the hinge, and then keep the flame pointing away. Don't ever point the flame towards the main body, but keep the flame pointing away and put the ball on the top, and fingers crossed it should all go down together. Don't forget, like the embellishments that we were just talking about, put a little bit of solder on the bottom of the ball in this case, rest the ball on top of the hinge, heat up this outside edge here. Okay, so this is going to heat up, and fingers crossed you should be okay. And if you want to stop the rest of the solder from perhaps flowing and join the whole hinge together, in between the hinges or some areas, put a little bit of Tipex stop out fluid, some powdered rouge, mix it up with a little bit of water and a little bit of washing up liquid or soap with it, just to stop the solder from spreading should it happen to come undone. Yes, Lou.
Okay, Penny wants to see the tube of wax, please. That you
Yeah,
showed
of course,
earlier.
yeah. This is one that I think I had from one of the trade shows. This was on Growbiz and they were giving them away. This is called Procraft. It says beeswax, which is quite naughty because it's not beeswax, it is synthetic beeswax. So that's what I've got. You can buy them. This is, what was this, an ounce, wasn't it? Was it an ounce? Yeah, 1 ounce. So there we go. This is called Procraft beeswax, reference 26.100 1 ounce, synthetic beeswax. You could even use, I would have thought, some candle wax mixed up with some charcoal dust and have the same as well.
Good.
Yes, Lou, let's have another question.
Not a lot of love for Etsy, really.
No? Okay.
Alan
Here's your
says
answer.
with Etsy, don't give you complete control. Claire got fed up with the changing fees. And it takes forever to load up one piece. Yeah, that's what's put me off. I kind of like got halfway through and thought,
I could do something better with my time.
well, yeah. Yeah. By the time I've uploaded it, yeah, it's different, isn't it? Anyway, Phil says, very difficult to work with. They stop your shop for no reason. Oh dear.
Yeah, go with things like Wix, Squarespace, something like that. They have good plans, don't they, that you can take payments.
Yeah, Claire, like Squarespace.
Yeah. This is a good thing, but you do have to learn how to promote the website.
Yes,
with
it's
things
still optimizing.
like SEO,
Yeah.
and there's all the other fields that you've got to fill in. It is a minefield, but it's just putting the right keywords, tags on the images and so forth as you go through it. Yeah, so it's something that you should look at.
One thing I keep forgetting to do is rename the photos. So you should have your photos, you shouldn't just be image,
no,
whatever, should
exactly.
it? And it should have a description in it.
Yes. Like on all the store images, if it's a pair of tweezers, it's a tweezers.
Yeah.
It's a like soldering tweezers or close up or using as well. Because some people think, how do I use soldering tweezers? Well, if there's an image saying using soldering tweezers or whatever it would be, there's an advantage straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so always make
So
sure
things
that
like
I
that,
always
isn't it?
close-ups of things as well. lifestyle shots, and as you say, put an actual description to the image.
That really helps with SEO, doesn't it?
Yes, it
and
does.
I'm saying that, but I don't do that. But I know you're supposed to
start doing it.
So yeah, I got to start doing it now, haven't
Absolutely.
I? Yeah. Good. Okay. How do you prevent a finished piece from tarnishing? Oh, I'm so sorry. Did you ask about tarnishing? I just realised I read it and didn't read it out. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not doing very well today, am I? How do you prevent a finished piece from tarnishing? I have tried Renaissance wax, but I had mixed results. Hello from Greece. I'm a beginner jewellery maker, and your videos help a lot. Oh,
cool. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There is no surefire way to stop tarnishing, unfortunately. The tarnishing is dependent upon the amount of perhaps sulfur that is in the air. Sulfur would come from things like exhaust fumes and things like that. So anything, if you're within a town, you're going to find that your jewellery is going to tarnish more than if you were in the countryside. You can buy, again we sell them in the store, these small little black pieces of paper that do help prevent tarnishing. That will only work if it is actually stored in a bag with the little, I'm not quite sure, is it a 3M paper? But it's an anti-tarnishing piece of paper. When we have them from Salbo as well.
Yeah, I should save them up, shouldn't I, really?
But they are very good. When the piece is off and it's on the body, it is very dependent upon the person, whether they have perfume, if they're on medication, especially strong medication, that will come out through the skin, that will affect the silver, and that will affect the tarnishing of the piece as well. So there is no guaranteed way to stop tarnishing.
I think advise your customer as well how to store it, because lots of our customers come back, they store silver jewellery in the boxes that it was
bought in, yeah,
which is reasonable. And then it tarnishes, and sometimes it's the glue, isn't it? And we're talking about major global brands as well, and but they're not designed to be stored in these boxes. It's just a gift box.
Yes.
And it's not really suitable to store it in.
It's the glue, the formaldehydes that really do affect the silver. Yeah.
In fact, we had some stands, didn't we? Some of the vintage range was, and I think it was. In fact, yes, I know it is now. They were like little tags. They were jewellery tags. They were like a little bit of paper and a loop and on a string, and they would, everything I put them on, the jewellery was tarnished gold as well, which it doesn't tarnish easy, does it?
No.
And as soon as I switched to something else, I didn't have the problem anymore. So sometimes it's trial and error, isn't it? Because you'd never expect a tiny bit of card on a bit of string to.
No, exactly. No, it is the most
and it was really bad, wasn't it? Everyone was going like, "Wow, how's that happening?" Yeah.
Yes, the gold was becoming marked.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think there's anything. Camphor stops tarnish.
Oh wow.
Mothballs.
I don't fancy the smell of that in the shop though.
I wouldn't want that around my jewellery. Can you imagine?
It's one way to keep your clients away, isn't it?
No, yeah, I wouldn't fancy that, to be honest. But yeah, there are plenty of other ways out there. But yeah, check them out. Yes, Lou, there's another question.
Okay. Helen says mother-in-law used to store silver with sugar cubes. Oh, that's interesting.
Never heard of that one. I have to try that one.
Cool. Can you recommend a good Filigree YouTube channel for beginners?
Oh, there is a guy. I can't remember his name, but he is sat at a table outside. He's very tanned. It's in like a courtyard. I can't remember. Can you make a note of that, please, Lou?
I was reading the question, sorry. What did you
yeah,
say?
Look at YouTube, Filigree, guy sat at a round table in his courtyard doing filigree. I'll try and find it. He is very, very, very good, and I will put that under this.
Filigreeness?
I don't know exactly what it is.
That's what Laura's suggesting.
But we'll have a look, and I'll put it under the video when we get 2 minutes when we find it. But that is going to be, he's an awesome guy.
Good, okay.
Cool, excellent. Yes, Lou.
Lovely. Claire says, I spent 2 weeks camping on the Isles of Scilly last year. My silver sea was almost black by the time I got back, but it was amazing, made the gold granulation pop.
Oh, cool. That's a good idea.
Sandra says, my piece is selling in a pottery studio and something in the clay dust tarnished this so fast. Mini maker I store in distilled water.
gosh.
Wow, cool.
Can you imagine keeping all your pieces in water? Oh, I did see that amazing. Where were we? We were down in Dartington, talking of storing things in water. This lady had a really ingenious way of displaying and storing jewellery within cork-topped pillboxes. Remember that? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, yeah. It looked really cool, didn't it?
That was really, really good. And they were just like small little glass boxes with a cork that went in the top. You know, really, really quite simple. And she'd put perhaps 2 little hooks on the inside of the cork, and put the earrings in there, and put the cork in the top. So it displayed it brilliantly. It kept it away from the outside air. So in theory, it would keep it pretty tarnish free. And it's a great way that you could actually perhaps put that in a nice bit of tissue paper, and it's all one. You don't have to have display stands and packaging. Put it all together as well. Can't remember the lady's name, but it was in Dartington.
Yeah, it was lovely, wasn't it?
It really was. Right.
Okay.
Let's have a few more. There's only 1 or 2
That's
coming
it.
through.
I think we've answered all the questions. Janet found an enormous gecko squashed behind a chest, and it stunk. Fresh your voice. Oh my goodness! I know.
We found the dead mouse once, didn't we? When we moved.
Oh, don't tell people that.
But the cat brought it in. You can't help
But it
that.
didn't smell.
No, it didn't smell at all. No.
The smell.
No, it was behind the freezer.
We had to lock Bunny's
cat
cat flap because he kept bringing friends in, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
It came on once to a bird flying around the living room. I was screaming.
All right, should we leave it there then? Give you the pin back an hour, 5 minutes to go.
We've got 5 minutes to go. Has anybody else got any more questions?
Any questions?
Anything else that we need to say?
Don't think so. Don't think so. The new
Look out
site
for
is
your
nearly
emails.
ready. The new pardon?
I was going to say look out for your emails for gravers. No, we don't gravers. Chain making.
Yes.
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 Oh, Gillian, I'm so sorry. You know, I'm not doing my job today at all, am I? Do you sell solder pins? I use a plastic tea strainer for jump rings. Sorry, Gillian.
Do you sell solder pins? Solder pins, not quite sure. Solder pins, no. I don't think we do sell solder pins. Use a plastic strainer for jump rings. No. But yeah, jump ring, again, in the pickle, put your jump rings in the tea strainer, put the plastic tea strainer in your pickle. Brilliant, you don't have to go fishing around for your jump rings. Great little tip, that. Yes.
Good.
And there we go. Hannah says, I use corks for displaying earrings for sale, but I wonder if they're a source of tarnish due to the sulphur in the wine.
Ooh.
Or use new corks, perhaps.
Yeah.
That might be an idea. Yes. They say mice are a sign of no rats around. Wow. Interesting.
I'm waiting for your reply. I think you were going to look that one up, weren't you?
Oh yeah, we're going to look at
Filigree.
yeah. When we get 2 minutes, when we're off air, we'll double check, and if you come back to this particular video, we will put it in the description down below.
Is this it? Because Laura did say
Filigreus.
Filigrenus.
Filigrenus.
Is this the guy?
Don't think so. But he's in his back garden. It's like a villa in Greece. He is, and he's in that.
How did I make that stop? Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Now, if you email me, louise@andrewberry.co.uk, when Andrew finds the link, I will send it on to you.
Yeah, and
Is
I'll
that okay?
also put it in the description of this
Oh,
video.
there we are. Yeah.
Yeah. Super.
Good. Susan, how do you know?
Don't wish to know, thank you.
Good. Helena, no, I like the wine. Well, yeah. It is, Filigrenus in Germany.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Okay, good. Brilliant.
Good. In that case, it's 5 o'clock and we're going to leave it there.
Excellent. Is it really 5 o'clock already?
It is.
Goodness me.
Does his stuff in his backyard. Well, it could be him then. It absolutely could be him. But yeah, very good.
Good.
We'll have to do some filigree, won't we? to do some filigree.
I said to you the other day, let's do a workshop on filigree, and you were like,
I've never really done it to the extent. I've made scrolls. I've made little scrolls of wire, put them within a framework and solder it. To me, that isn't true filigree. Filigree is a wire, and you pass some people will do 2 strands and twist it and then flatten it. Not really true filigree. True filigree, I think, is you have the wire and then you get a die, or is it a tap and die? A die, and it cuts threads, and it cuts threads all the way down the whole length. You spin it like that, cuts a thread, you flatten it, and then you use that for your filigree.
wow.
But we'll have to have a play around with that, won't we?
Well, you will.
We will. You will have to have a look. You have to tell me what to do. You have to look. All right, then, everybody. So thank you very much for coming on today. It's been a pleasure again, hasn't it? Today
Cool.
to come back, isn't it? Lots of things planned. As I said, new websites coming along well. We're going to have to look at transferring the thousands and thousands of you onto the new platform. It is really, really good. We're really, really happy and pleased with the way that is looking. It's taken a while. I do apologise for that. Don't forget, plenty of new tools have been added to the store. We have a workshop next Monday on chain making. If you want to pay and you're not an At The Bench member, you do pay for it. The emails are coming out this very moment, so check all your emails. If you want to check it out, I will be putting it up on social media tomorrow. So go on Instagram, Facebook. We'll have all the links on there tomorrow to the workshop page and also to the checkout, so you can buy it. If you're a paid member of At The Bench, you'll already be having emails with the codes already in. We are actually on TikTok. TikTok is really hard to gain any sort of momentum.
Well, it's going to take a while to like optimize your I don't know, algorithm, I suppose, isn't it? To optimize your preferences and the people who are interested in you.
I've been doing it for about 2 weeks.
It's not really long enough, is it?
I've only got 50 people, 56
Come
people.
on, let's all give Andrew a follow. I don't really get TikTok, I'll be honest. I know that Sarah,
Sarah's art.
I don't know if Sarah's here, but Sarah does amazingly on TikTok, and I'd love to know what she does. But I think it's just the consistency.
I think it is.
Isn't it? Like any other social media platform, it is just...
But the problem that I find with TikTok is it's too full of, look at my filter.
And then we're all going to do this dance. Perhaps we should do a little dance. And
I know, I'm sorry, I'm just really not into that.
But I think the more you post and the more that people who like the things that you post follow you and engage with you, the less of those things that you'll see.
I'd like to think so.
So once it optimizes,
Michael, you will be getting it. They were starting to be sent out. So you'll be getting it within the next day or so.
If you don't give me an email, please.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone will be getting emails. If you're members of At The Bench or even Freeview members of At The Bench, you will be getting emails over the next few days. With the number of members that we've got, it's thousands and thousands and thousands. It will take a while to get your emails out. So please be patient. And if you can't be patient, get in contact with Louise.
And if you don't get your email, please let me know.
If by Thursday.
You should have it by Thursday. So if you haven't, because if I get an email at 2 o'clock,
or 1:30 even.
Yeah,
it's kind of
I'm already here, ready and rearing to go and setting things up. So I'm not really available to resolve any problems then, I'm afraid. I mean, I do my best and I check and I'm here checking, but sometimes I have emails after the workshop has already started and I just don't get a chance then, which is a shame. Yeah.
Good. Everyone going to start selling cast silver hands, or not another one.
Oh, cool. What size are they? Oh, 2 centimeters and smaller. Nice.
Wow. All right then, everyone. Let's go. Louise.
I've done 3 lives myself on TikTok. Oh, yay. Well done, Sam.
Tanya, let us...
How did it go? Send me your
thing.
Your handle. What's it called? I'm not down with the kids. I don't know what but yeah, and we'll give you a follow and yes.
Please
because
do.
The more that we all interact, I suppose, the more TikTok knows what we like.
And don't give us the rubbish that people keep dancing to.
Yeah, the kids dancing and
terrible.
Bibbing back to their parents. So, and my daughter loves that, doesn't she? Oh, have a look at this. And she's filming me in secret making fun of us, isn't she? And stuff like that. Look at my middle-aged parents. Aren't they sad?
Okay, so someone's asking, when do you have live videos next time? It's going to be next Monday. It's going to be a workshop. It's going to be all about chain making. Look out on social media. Just go on to Instagram. It's @_the_bench_UK. Bit of a mouthful, but we're there. Or go on Facebook, but @thebench on Facebook, and you should be able to find us there. What about it? Are you, Andrew? I can share your lives on there as well. Brilliant. Let's have a quick butchers, shall we? Can we say that these days? I'm not quite sure.
It's just raining slimes.
It is, I suppose it is. Yes. All kids in glass houses are coming back. So yeah, so we, I'll do a close up on this if you want to have a look. So yeah, we are at the bench. Nice and simple. We are on there. I don't know what's happened because there was another video by here when I did it.
Go on then, Andrew. I'll give you a follow.
There should have been another video. There should have been another video. Oh, perhaps. Oh, this is the problem with TikTok, isn't it? So there we go. That's what we got. Oh, I'm getting quite good engagement. 700 odd people have watched that. Pretty good. Yeah, but there we go. So everyone, thank you very much for joining us today. So it's at TikTok. Oh God. Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
At the bench. And that's TikTok. Don't understand it myself, but if you're on there, bored. There we go. TikTok at the bench. Gonna follow
That's
me,
at the bench. I don't know if
I think you're ready following me.
I think I am. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
We'll figure it out.
We will. All right then. So that's it for this week. We'll join us next Monday for our workshop. The Q&A will be with you 2 weeks today. So, anything else you want to say, Louise?
I don't think so. No, I think
done?
we're pretty much done, aren't we?
Good. Don't forget, we've got to do the draw tomorrow for the practice.
It's in my diary. That's as good as done.
Good. So it is goodbye from Louise.
Goodbye, and it's goodbye from Andrew.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care. Have a lovely week.